I am absolutely obsessed with the silent. Why? I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. But that's another reason why I wanted to make this video in the first place. So this is just gonna be a yap fest. I've never done a video like this before. I'm just gonna do this all in one take. So what brought this on is my boyfriend and I were playing Spire, and he really likes the defect, and I really like the silent. So we had a little competition to see who could get to Ascension 20 first on our favorite characters. And honestly, our little competition was pretty close for a while. We were pretty neck and neck until at one point I was on Ascension 19 and he was on 16. And then suddenly, over the weekend, he was on Ascension 19 with me. So at this point, we're both suffering. We can't stop playing the game. It's still fun, but at the same time, you know, it's grueling, especially after a hard day at work. But neither of us were gonna lose, right? I literally beat him by one day, the day before. I was thinking about the wise words from Northern Lion himself, which I do not remember verbatim, but he said something along the lines of, the only good roguelikes are Isaac and Slay the Spire. Choose 3 roguelikes suck except for Slay the Spire, it's the only good one. Which I thought was hilarious, even as a Hades fan. I have not watched anybody play this game before other than Northern Lion when I was going to bed. So if you have 1,000 hours in this game, feel free to berate me in the comments. I just wanted to learn the game and see everything that it has to offer and learn what synergizes on my own, which usually ended up just being a Shiv build. So this was my run. This is the one that got me to win Ascension level 20, which, by the way, I had no idea that the boss had 2 phases because I didn't even look. I was so locked in on trying to beat my boyfriend that I didn't even look at the condition. We were both on Ascension 19 and I was shitting my pants, so like I had to do something. Whatever this fucking shit is called, Viagra or whatever, this shit is broken. I almost always take Preserved Insect because I'm cocky, and you might as well fight the elites, right? That's how you get the good shit. Dude, I love Unceasing Top, oh my god. And basically every run that I had turned into a discard run, if that makes sense. I feel like the way to win as the silent is discarding. Of course, it is essential to create your own deck. You draw a hand, and they're all defends whenever the opponent is shielding, or vice versa. They're attacking you, they're going to deal 30 damage, and you only have attacks. Now, some may say that's RNG. I would say skill issue, but if you can get a good synergy with prepared, bro, don't even get me started on tough bandages. Gambling chip? Are you kidding me? It's just free, and it's so free! A discard build is the only way to make Runic Pyramid work, and when it does work, it pops off. I've only had a handful of runs where I took this relic because I had a build that fit, and it was really addictive. But it is incredibly difficult to do, in my opinion. Getting Sneaky Strike to work actually goes fucking bonkers. Get Gambling Chip and Sneaky Strike, literally free. Oh, I love a calculated gamble. Oh, I love a calculated gamble. Oh my god, I love gambling. Making this a 0 cost is literally a free 27 damage, and that is without any extra bullshit that you're able to add on in this broken ass game. And the fact that I couldn't become frail or weak in that Ascension 20 run was crazy. But anyway, I want to start looking at my run. Okay, so I actually love Cloaking Dagger. Even if I'm not doing a Shiv build, even if I'm doing poison, or like just a strength build, which I have done on the silent, it is fun. But if I'm playing the silent, I want to do Shivs or poison, you know what I mean? This is just a good card. It's just a defend that you can also attack with. I have a Wrist Blade, of course I'm gonna take it. It's like a free accuracy. I didn't even have an accuracy. This build wasn't even anything crazy. I just had the win card. Adrenaline, my beloved, always coming in clutch. I swear, Blade Dance is like a drug. I get this weird kind of almost high when I play a Shiv build. It's so stimulating, just go bam, 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 and have shit happen, especially if I have Dead Branch. Oh my god. I feel like I'm fucking Gojo, dude. Phantasmal Killer carries so hard. As you can see, my ass was not dying. I was ready. I had a lot of footwork. I was not planning on dying, dude. My boyfriend shits on me for this, but I love Caltrops and Bronze Scales. It's just nice to have passive damage, which is kind of the silence thing with the poison. Unless you're fighting the fucking Time Eater. Why is he allowed to heal in the middle of the fucking fight? Akabeko is one of my favorite common relics on the silent, especially if I have something like Dramatic Entrance or Backstab. Now let me talk about Shuriken and Kunai for a second. With my beloved Shivs, how could I lose? How could I possibly lose? And on top of that, imagine I have Letter Opener. Oh my god. Which reminds me of another card that my boyfriend said he doesn't like. Panache. I love that card. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. My god, dude. And then what if you put like Dead Branch on top of that shit? Sadistic Nature, a literal 0 cost free damage card for the silent. If you're doing poison, they're just cooked. Like, they're actually cooked. Bomb. How could I forget about ornamental fan? It's pretty much akin to having a cloak and dagger, but it's a relic. Now, it goes without saying, if you get toxic egg, frozen egg, mummified hand, molten egg, any one of those, if you lose, like, you fucked off somewhere. Oh my god. Of course, I don't want my deck to be too big, right? It's nice to have that passive HP added on. It's like having the blood vial, but better. Meat on the bone, bone on the, meat on the, bone on the, I like being rich and buying things. Getting this doll to work with this motherfucker and or this motherfucker, it feels really good. Oh my god, this comes in clutch so well. Until those couple runs where I forget that I have it and I end up losing 0 HP when I could have lost 3. Oh, God bless the Torii Gate, bro. Oh my god. I've got a hilarious run that I had with ice cream. I'm not sure if I have the clip, so I'll just explain it. I once, fighting those fucking spikes, I got up to 43 energy because I could not get enough block in a turn to not take any damage while dealing damage during a Shiv build, and I barely had any poison. Almost anytime I'm offered the calling bell, I take it. That's a free 3 relics. Are you kidding me? Spirit poop. On the silent in particular, I don't often take X cards, but if you can get Chemical X to work, I know it does get pretty crazy. I do that more on other characters though when I do end up playing them. Oh, I love spending money. Okay, I know I've talked about how much I love shivs, but I will talk about poison a little bit too because poison builds do go crazy. This is extremely helpful. Kind of like in a way that thorns are, except the poison will add up if I have more poison. This is how I beat those fucking donuts. Okay, so I didn't really talk too much about the strength. I talked a little bit about Viagra, but putting Viagra 2, especially if I already have something like Apotheosis where I don't need to worry about upgrading cards, or if I have some kind of passive heal, this is a godsend. Now, the Snake of Skull is your bestie when you've got a poison build. You know, that one really fucking adds up. I guess it's kind of similar to getting extra strength, but instead of you having the strength, it's applied to your passive. Bro, how is this allowed? Oh, I like that sound it makes. This is essentially the specimen in a card form. When I have those big cost cards, I really do like to take a bullet time. You can shit on me for liking 1,000 cuts. I know that there are better cards for that 2 cost. And even though I know that I shouldn't be taking this card because it's not worth the 2 cost for what I could do in that turn with that 2 energy, I usually take it anyway and then end up regretting it. I love gambling. Leg Sweep is a really safe card to take. I know that it's a 2 cost, but being able to apply 3 weak actually goes a long way. Escape Plan on the Silent is usually a free block. I feel like it's really difficult to make this card work, even on a ship build. Now, when it does work, it does feel really good, especially if there are multiple enemies in the combat. This does go a long way. But often, because of the cost of it, if I don't have any extra energy, it's not gonna work. Because I would need to either kill that enemy that I'm fighting that turn, or I would need to have some sort of block. And you know, with that much energy, I'm not gonna have enough to block, and I'm gonna die. This card's probably one of my favorites for poison. It's just really solid, especially if you have that Sadistic Nature card. Applying both of these debuffs to all enemies, bruh. Oh, you all know. You know how much I love my shivs. And whenever I can finish it off, dude, oh my god. It's one of the best feelings when I play this game. I am the potion master, give me more potions. I like to upgrade Terror right away so it can cost 0, but I do almost always take this card when I see it. Once again, my beloved shivs with After Image. I am untouchable. Okay, I take back what I said about that being my favorite poison card. This one is. I love Envenom. It feels so good and it works with any build. Malaise has definitely saved my ass before. Same with Wraith Form. Even though it is a 3 cost, that's 3 intangible. If I'm not killing this enemy in 3 turns, then I'm weak and I gotta restart. But I also will probably have something giving me extra dexterity to make up for it. 0 cost Phantasmal Killer is probably one of the most overpowered rare cards for the Silent, if you're doing shifts. Okay, one of my favorite goofy runs is get Storm of Steel with Dead Branch. Then just see what kind of stupid shit I can get up to. I kind of put Phantasmal Killer and Burst in the same tier because these allow you to get up to some stupid shit. Glass Knife is my favorite card to start out with in Act 1, and I even still use it throughout the entire run. If I can get this in Act 1, I'm pretty much set. That is a lot of damage, even unupgraded. For someone like the Silent who starts out super weak, this is my best friend. Even though it decreases the damage every time you use it, if you're shuffling your deck that much to draw this card again, you've already lost. One of the biggest lessons that I learned while climbing the Ascensions is that you want to get cards that fit with your build, but you need to think about next combat. You need to think about the boss of that floor. You need to look at that map and really think about what you're doing. I feel like regardless of a build, Glass Knife is just a solid card to have. Let's say you get Corpse Explosion as an option, but you're in Act 1 in the middle of it, and you don't have any poison. You could take Corpse Explosion, but chances are that you're gonna die on higher ascensions because it's a 2-cost card. That's probably a poor example, but you really gotta plan around what's right in front of you rather than the long game. It's a fucking roguelike. You're not always gonna get what you want. Even I'm malding when I don't get Blade Dance on Act 1, so I'm definitely not immune. Another solid card that I like to put even close in tier to Glass Knife is Dagger Spray. Even though it's a common card, if you don't have an AoE attack, it'd be pretty pathetic if you were to die due to those little ass slimes. Neutralize is really funny because I didn't even realize that I had the beta art on this entire time, or up until I got in the middle of my competition where I was trying to climb an ascension. I didn't even realize that that was not the actual art for it and that there was beta art because I played this back in 2020 and then I came back to it years later. For potions, I love me a fire potion. Like, bitch, get me out of here. Same with explosive potion. I love my strength potion whenever I'm going against those elites. I love distilled chaos. Just play the top 3 cards on my drop pile and say fuck it. I love gambling. The most embarrassing thing I could do in this game is use smoke bomb. Gain 1 ritual? Dude, it's like Viagra but by turn. I'm kind of a one-trick Andy. I play the silent, brain rotting with something on my second monitor because I'm so familiar with the silent and the silence cards and the builds. And I sound so brain rotted saying that out loud. I can't do that with any other character though. Anytime when I'm playing a game, I do not have something on my other monitor. I am doing one thing at a time. I do not want to get overstimulated. I do not want to get overwhelmed. But that just goes to show how much I've played the silent. I'm super excited for Slay the Spire 2. It looks like I'm gonna get to play the silent again and again and again and again. There's gotta be something wrong with me, I don't know. I literally made this video in 2 days. I'm literally finishing this video the day before it comes out. But anyway, fuck the time eater. Okay, bye.